What is going on YouTube? Nexus TV back here in another video today. This video is another Lance video from the series of Lance pages that I've done already. If you guys have not watched the last few episodes of Lance, then you guys should probably watch those. And if you have already watched them but you feel burned out, I think you should stick around because a lot of the what am I trying to say? A lot of the action happens during chapter 4, 5, and 6. So, without further ado, let me get into the video now. Chapter 3, Aqua, go. So what's the deal with you two? Annika asks, sitting down in the leather chair. Lance mentions his dilemma and quickly gets down to business for asking her for help. What do you think I can do? I'm not some sort of avenger, Annika says while shaking her head. Lance sits there with a mildly annoyed look on his face and tells her that Hiro mentioned that there's more to her than seen. He's right, she says, with a tinge of regret in her voice. Lance looks at her with a confused facial expression, and suddenly, Annika opens the cap on a plastic water bottle sitting beside her, and in a quick motion manipulates the water and sends it flying into a plant. Lance is completely stunned at the sight and looks at Hiro. I told you so, Hiro says with a snicker. Annika looks at Lance and smiles and begins to explain how she got her powers. Some years ago, probably 2 or 3, my dad was working on an experiment. He wanted to understand the bond of a human and the liquid of water to see if he could strengthen the bond to a relationship resembling symbiosis. His work was getting a lot of recognition, but one day he was driving home from his workplace and he lost control of his car and went off the road and into a lake. So I guess in the end he got to bond with the water after all. Annika says with half a smile. Anyway, she continues, I wanted to continue the work of my father, the work my father had been working so hard to complete, and I did. I'm Aqua. He named the project that, so I felt it was fitting to take it. Annika says. Lance looks confused. Lance looks like he's confused, as if thousands of questions were flowing through his mind all at once. Where was she when we were fighting Tooth and Nail and Thanos? Lance asks himself silently. Before he could convey his thoughts into words, Anakin spoke up again. I didn't know how to control my powers decently enough until a few months ago, and even now I'm still not completely in control. But I guess I'm powerful enough to help. Lance smiles back at her, satisfied at the fact that she agreed to help, and also surprised at how little it took to convince her. Annika gets up and tells him that she wants to show the group something. Lance and Hiro get up and follow her to a closet. Annika opens the door and steps back for Lance and Hiro to see what it is. It's a blue double-breasted leather coat with black leather jeans and blue boots. Is this your suit? Hiro asks. Annika nods and tells them that she planned on using it when she mastered her powers, but that now is the best time. Annika grabs the pieces of her suit and goes into the closet to put it on, but not before Annika tells them to leave her alone for a minute. And hey, it's not nice to stare, Annika says sternly while looking back at Lance. She walks into the closet and closes the door. After a few minutes, Annika comes back with her suit on. So you're trying to clear your name. What's your plan? I mean, you can't expect people to help you without one. You're lucky you have Hiro and I with you. Annika says after chugging some water. I've got one, Lance says boastfully. The plan. What's the plan? Annika asks. The plan is, in 2019, shortly before I quit the Metal Spider, there was an organization. Drugs and Bounty Hunters. Natasha Romanoff and I have been scouting them for 5 months, and we found out their weaknesses, strengths, the way they operated, everything. It's been over 5 years since then. The way they operate has definitely evolved, but the basics never changed. Lance says as all 3 of them sit in his car ready to go to the next location. What's the organization called? Hiro asks Lance while looking out the window. Powder Drum, Lance says bitterly. If we can get them off the streets, that might be enough to have the public gain at least a bit of trust in us. If we can get them off the streets, that might be enough to have the public at least gain a bit of trust from me. Yeah, here's hoping, Hiro says flatly. Lance asks Annika if she has her bags packed. She says yes and explains that she'll have to call in a break from work and tells Lance that he can drive to the next location while she does it. Lance shifts his car into drive and leaves Annika's neighborhood. What's next? Hiro says energetically. We gotta head to Canada, Toronto. Lance says while reading street signs. But, he continues, We can't risk going through the toll booth, so that's why I'm going to find some help. What kind of help? Hiro asks. Before Lance can answer, Annika interjects. I know someone, she says before continuing. He's a pilot, very skilled with what he does. They call him Ace. He's not Captain America level when it comes to flight, but he's good enough, Annika says. She mentions that his airship is in Port Austin, and Lance suddenly realizes something. Wait, but my car. What about my car? He says worriedly. Don't worry about it, Annika says with a reassuring voice. Bradley can have someone bring the car into Canada. Lance says in relief. After a few hours of driving, the trio reach Port Austin, and Annika gives Lance the directions to Bradley's airstrip. The three make it to his airstrip and grab their bags. Lance wakes Hiro up. Wakey wakey, heat seeker, we're going to the 6. Lance says with a laugh. Hiro groggily grabs his bags and gets out of the car. The three walk up to an oblivious Bradley who's busy polishing the propeller of his Cessna 206. Bradley, Annika yells. Bradley quickly turns his head at the trio and cheerfully greets them, showing mild surprise at the sight of Lance. He quickly asks where they're headed. Toronto, Lance says. Alrighty, well go ahead and put your bags on the plane. I'll have a guy take your car to Toronto and leave it at the drop point, Bradley says, motioning them to get into the plane. Suddenly, 3 2020 black Chevy Camaros drive into the airship, stopping 25 feet away from the group. Who the heck is that? Bradley says while opening... That's not the actual word, you know that. Bradley says while opening the door to the pilot seat of the plane. It's Powder Jum, Lance says as he hurriedly gets into the plane along with Bradley. He opens his door for Annika while Hiro runs around the side for the passenger seat. Hiro turns on the engine and the Powder Jum bounty hunters open fire. They're shooting at us, Annika says while slamming the door shut. Hiro opens up his door and gets into the plane, hearing the bullets from multiple submachine guns ricocheting off the metal of the left side of the plane. Lance and Annika duck down after Lance notes that they're shooting at him, and Bradley takes the plane onto the runway. The darkness is pierced by the lights lining the runway. Bradley speeds up and begins to pull back on the control wheel, and the plane lifts up into the sky and out of harm's way. So that was the most recent 2 pages of the Lance book. As you can see, there was a little bit of action in the page just now. Pardon any spelling errors or any sort of speaking errors that I had the whole time. Like when I read this book, I get really, really excited. So I end up sometimes I think faster than I talk, and I end up messing up. But I'm working on that, and hopefully by the next video, that's a lot less. The quantity of that happening is less. So, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And next is TV out. Have a good day or night wherever you are.